My name is Emily Carter, and at 37, I thought I'd build a life as solid as the Rocky Mountains surrounding our little suburb in Denver, Colorado. As a contracts attorney at Rocky Peak Legal, I spent my days dissecting partnership agreements and merger clauses, finding comfort in the black and white world of legal language. It was predictable, logical, everything my upbringing in a family obsessed with keeping up appearances wasn't. Growing up in the shadow of those peaks, our home in Golden was a stage for my parents' endless performances, barbecues where the stakes were prime and the smiles were forced, all to mask the cracks in their finances from bad real estate flips they'd never own up to. My folks, Tom and Linda Carter, had mastered the art of Western hospitality, big hats, bigger egos, and retirement dreams built on shaky loans. Then there was my younger sister, Sarah, 33 now, who drifted through life like tumbleweed, chasing one get-rich-quick scheme after another. Funded by parental bailouts and a string of boyfriends my mom always called full of promise. In the Carter clan, we lived by the unspoken rule: polish the surface, bury the mess. Bad investments? Just market fluctuations. Failed relationships? Growth opportunities. Loyalty? Well, that turned out to be as flexible as a rodeo rope. 8 months back, I'd sat in a neutral mediator's office, not my firm's. Too many whispers in the hallways, finalizing the end of my 7-year marriage to Jack. We'd met at a tech conference in Boulder. He was the charismatic startup founder with big ideas about sustainable energy apps. I thought we were partners in every sense. But Jack hadn't just strayed with a 25-year-old graphic designer from his team named Mia Lopez. He'd played a long game of financial hide-and-seek that any white-collar prosecutor would admire. When I broke the news to my family, I kept it vague: irreconcilable differences, the catch-all phrase that spared me the humiliation. I didn't mention the offshore accounts, the undervalued stock options, or how he'd convinced me to sign a settlement that shortchanged me big time. Me, the expert in spotting loopholes, blindsided in my own backyard. Mom's reaction was pure drama, fanning herself like we were in a heat wave. Oh, Emily, marriages hit potholes like our old dirt roads. Your dad and I weathered worse. I shut it down quick. I knew about Dad's old flings with the neighbor's wife. The ones we all pretended were tall tales. What blindsided me was how my family kept Jack in the loop. First, Sarah mentioned grabbing craft beer with him at a local brewery. Then Dad bragged about Jack's stock tips helping his portfolio. It started as drips, then a flood. They'd adopted him like a stray coyote. He's hurting too, Mom said when I called her out. We've known him forever. Can't just ghost him because y'all hit a snag. A snag? Like he'd forgotten to take out the trash. Not siphoned our joint savings into crypto wallets while sleeping around. I compartmentalized it all. A skill I'd honed wrangling family chaos and courtroom deadlines. At work, I was Emily Carter, the go-to for multi-million-dollar deals. At home, I was the divorced daughter, nursing a Coors Light and dodging questions about Tinder while ignoring the sympathetic head tilts. But walls only hold so long before they crumble, and mine were fracturing under the weight. The breaking point came via a casual Snapchat from Sarah. Bumped into Jack at REI, looking sharp for a single guy. Winking face, that emoji hit like a gut punch. When had my ex become fair game for family chit-chat? That night, I dug into the divorce files I'd shoved in a drawer. Too raw to face before. What I uncovered wasn't just betrayal, it was a roadmap to fraud. But I'm Emily Carter. In our family, you don't throw tantrums. You plot your moves like a chess game on the high plains. The unraveling started with a bank alert on my phone, flagging unusual activity on a joint account I'd forgotten about. A wire transfer to a hotel in Aspen on a weekend. Jack claimed he was scouting investors in Salt Lake. One loose thread, and the whole sweater came apart. Mia's name popped up in his Venmo history, then in deleted emails I recovered from his old laptop. Late nights at the office suddenly meant something else. But the money trail? That turned pain into purpose. Jack had set up LLCs in Nevada, easy anonymity there, funneling bonuses and app royalties away from our marital pot. He'd lowballed his company's value during mediation, swearing on affidavits that the startup was one bad quarter from bankruptcy. I'd been too shattered to push back, eager to cut ties. My mediator, a decent guy, but no shark, advised settling fair and square. I walked away with the house in Golden, half the savings, what I thought was half, and most of the credit card debt from our dream remodel. For months post-divorce, his company landed a Series B round, $25 million from Silicon Valley VCs. His worthless shares? Suddenly a gold mine. When I laid it out for my family over brisket at their place, evidence stacked like legal briefs, their responses were a masterclass in denial. Dad squinted at the bank statements. Tech valuations are wilder than a Mustang stampede.
Eminência.
He probably didn't see that funding coming. The investor emails predated our split by months. He shrugged. Don't let sour grapes turn you bitter. Jack's a stand-up guy who slipped up. Mom was worse, stirring her iced tea endlessly. Honey, men wander when the home fire dims. You were always buried in briefs. When's the last time you dolled up? Maybe hit a line dance. I stared, wondering when she'd bought into that outdated bunk. This is fraud.
Mom.
Not about my genes. She waved it off. Always with the big words. No wonder things fizzled. Sarah barely glanced up from TikTok. Bummer.
Cease.
But you're set.
Right? Job.
House, some folks got real woes. Real woes? Like her endless loans from Dad? The gaslighting was so slick. I almost doubted myself. Maybe I was overreacting. Maybe strong women just swallowed the pill.
Nope.
Therapy had taught me better than to replay old tapes. What Jack did violated Colorado's equitable distribution laws, hiding assets, void settlements. What my family did,
Picked sides.
and not mine. I stopped chasing their nods and started building my case. The invite came on a crisp fall afternoon while I was marking up a franchise agreement. Mom's voice bubbled like a mountain stream. Family barbecue Sunday. 4 p.m. Sharp. Bring that potato salad you make. I'd been dodging gatherings since the blow-up, citing case loads that weren't total fibs.
Mom.
Work's piled up. Nonsense. It's been ages. Dad thinks you're ghosting us. Her tone turned plaintive. We're blood. Emily. Through thick and thin. Thick and thin, like when they sided with my thief of an ex. Fine. I relented. Already scheming. Driving up the winding road to their ranch-style spread, the aspens turning gold, felt like heading into a deposition with loaded questions. I dressed neutral. Flannel shirt. Boots. Comfy but composed. No ammo for Mom's fashion jabs. Laughter echoed from the backyard as I parked. Sarah answered the door, her face flickering shock. Guilt.
Sass. Ink.
You showed. Love the boots, vintage. I followed her past family photos still featuring Jack and me, our Vegas wedding, ski trips to Vail. I'd asked to yank them. Mom promised.
Lies.
In the backyard, under string lights, Jack lounged at the picnic table in Dad's favorite spot,
No single crafty pair.
regaling the group about his latest app update. He looked polished, new Stetson. Pressed shirt. Probably bought with my half of the pie. Spotting me, He froze mid-sip but grinned wide. Emily, good to see ya. My family turned. No shock on their faces, just wary eyes on me. This was staged. Jack, I said evenly, like greeting an old client. Mom hustled over, apron flapping. Did I forget to say? Jack's been advising Dad on some solar investments. Sharp as a tack with money. She eyed me pointedly. Thought it'd be nice. All together again. Together, like before he drained our accounts?
Seat.
Seat, det boomed. Pointing to a lawn chair opposite Jack. Sarah was just spilling on her new gig. New gig? Sarah beamed. Eco-lifestyle blog. Curating sustainable Western vibes for millennials. Affordable ranch chic, without the ranch price. Jack's helping with the biz plan. Got killer insights on pitching VCs. Did he now? Dinner, grilled ribs. Jack's fave. Not mine. Unfolded like a bad Western flick. They chatted Jack's expansion. Dad's golf swing. Sarah's content ideas. No one asked about my cases. No divorce talk. During Cobbler, Sarah's hand grazed Jack's, reaching for the whipped cream. Too lingering. Too familiar. I'll clear plates, I announced. Needing air. In the kitchen, rinsing under hot water, I glimpsed them through the window, my family toasting Jack with raised bottles. To keeping solid folks around, Dad said. Clinks all around. I dried my hands, weighing my play. Old Emily would have slipped out, texted an excuse. But I'd evolved. I'd spent months with a forensic accountant, tracing every dollar. Patience was my new weapon. Back at the table, I smiled. Missed anything fun? The illusion cracked wide open when I stepped inside to grab more napkins from the pantry. Our house had that open Western layout. Voices carried like echoes in a canyon if you knew where to listen. I wasn't spying, just lingering, when Dad's drawl filtered through. Deal closes next week. 10% equity. As discussed. Jack's voice. Smooth as bourbon. You sure Emily won't kick up dust? She's been poking around. Sarah chimed in. Giggly. Nah. She's all bark.
Plus.
This sets us up sweet. My blood ran cold as a mountain stream. They weren't just friendly, they were in bed business-wise. On funds that smelled like fraud. I grabbed the napkins, schooled my face, and rejoined the barbecue. The sun dipped behind the peaks, casting long shadows, mirroring the darkness settling in me. Laughter rang hollow now. Mom passed around Esmores. Jack's hand lingering on Sarah's knee under the table, subtle. But I caught it. Great spread. Linda, he said. She preened. Anything for family.
Family.
The word twisted like barbed wire. That night, driving home under a star-studded sky, I pieced it together. Jack's hidden LLCs had funneled cash to Dad's investment fund, a shell for real estate flips in the booming Denver suburbs. Sarah's blog? Branded content tied to it. With Mia handling graphics, cozy. They'd looped in without a whisper to me, using marital assets Jack had squirreled away. Under Colorado law, that's not just shady, it's actionable fraud. Potentially criminal if it crossed into money laundering territory. I didn't confront them outright. Instead, I lawyered up quietly, hired Elena Vargas, a Bulldog family law specialist in Boulder known for shredding asset hiders. We built a fortress of evidence, bank trails, emails, even Jack's undervalued startup valuation that ballooned post-divorce. Elena explained it clear. Fraudulent concealment voids the settlement. We can reopen. Seek equitable division.
Plus dommage.
If family's complicit, civil suits could follow. Maybe even refer to the DA for investigation. Humane? Maybe not yet. but clarity burned bright. Weeks blurred into prep. I kept up appearances, polite texts, vague RSVPs, while Elena's team dug. Turns out, Dad had co-signed on one of Jack's LLCs. Sarah was listed as a beneficiary in a trust funded by those crypto gains. Mom, willfully blind, but her signatures dotted joint accounts. The betrayal stung deeper than Jack's affair. This was blood turning on blood for a quick buck. The big reveal loomed when Mom called about a family celebration at their place, a backyard bash for Dad's latest venture. Partners coming?
Eminência.
Wear something festive. None of that courtroom black.
Festive. Right.
I knew from Elena's intel, it was a soft launch for Carter Renewables. Jack's brainchild. Seated with my stolen share. Investors from Aspen and Vail. Promises of green energy tax credits. Sarah texted, "Can't wait." Jack's got surprises. Winking face, that emoji again, nauseating. I arrived fashionably late. Envelope of docs in my tote, like a concealed carry. The yard buzzed with string lights. A hired band strumming country tunes. Caterers flipping burgers. About 25 guests, suits mingling with cowboy boots. Jack held court by the fire pit, pitching solar farms on ranch land. He spotted me.
Paused.
Emily, join the fun. I raised a solo cup of lemonade. Wouldn't miss it. Investors nodded warily. Word travels in Denver circles. Heard you're the legal eagle, one said. Always vet the fine print, I replied lightly. Jack's eyes flicked nervous, but he powered on. Mom cornered me by the grill. You look tense. Honey. Smile. This is our big break. What's the occasion exactly? She beamed. Dad and Jack's partnership. Sarah's handling promo. It's a family win. With my money? She blanched. Don't start. Enjoy the night. Dad clinked a bottle for attention. Folks, thanks for coming. 6 months ago, we hit rough trails. But out here in the West, we saddle up and ride on. With Jack's smarts, Carter Renewables will light up Colorado, solar for ranches, jobs for locals. And Sarah's spinning the story online. To family legacies. Cheers erupted. Sarah gazed at Jack adoringly, his arm around her waist now.
No hiding.
I stood. Mind if I add a word? Dad's smile strained.
Sure. Eminência.
I pulled the envelope. Since we're toasting transparency. Jack tensed. Emily. I ignored him. Love the vision. But due diligence matters. This here's a forensic report on assets hidden during my divorce. LLCs in Nevada. Crypto wallets worth $4 mil now. Funneled right into this venture. Gasps rippled. Dad boomed. Private matter.
Folks.
I pressed on. Not when it taints investments. Transfers to Carter accounts started mid-divorce, marital property under Colorado law. Fraud voids everything. An investor. Burly guy in a BOLO tie.
Frowned.
Robert. Explain. Dad stammered. Misunderstanding. Jack's clean. I slid out emails. These show premeditation. Startup value lied about. Jumped $25 mil post-settlement. Chair scraped. I'm out, one muttered. Jack stood. You're twisting facts. Am I?
Elena Vargas.
My attorney disagrees. Civil suit incoming. Recovery plus penalties. Mom whispered. Emily. Stop, your family. Sarah teared up. Ruining us. I softened a hair. You chose this path. But maybe we fix it before it's too late. The party dissolved like mist in morning sun. Investors bolted. Band packed up awkward. Left were us Carters and Jack. Deflated. Dad slumped. What now? I exhaled. We talk. For real. That night. Under those stars. Seeds of change planted.
No fireworks.
Just raw truth. The fallout hit like a sudden squall off the Front Range, fierce but clearing the air. Investors pulled plugs within days. Whispers in Denver's business scene labeled Carter Renewables radioactive. Jack's startup distanced him, citing personal matters. He lawyered up. But Elena's evidence was ironclad. Timestamps on transfers. Affidavits from his ex-CFO who'd turned whistleblower for immunity. Under Colorado's Uniform Fraudulent Transfer Act, those moves screamed avoidance, assets clawed back, penalties looming. My family, shell-shocked. Dad called first, voice gravelly from lack of sleep. We gotta meet. Neutral ground. We gathered at a coffee shop in Golden, the kind with reclaimed wood and mountain views, far from home turf. Mom fidgeted with her latte. Sarah scrolled absently. Jack absent by mutual agreement. We didn't know the full story, Dad admitted, avoiding my eyes. Jack said it was his seed money. Clean. I laid docs on the table, not accusatory. Explanatory. He hid $4 mill in marital assets. You took transfers without questions. Mom teared up. We thought we were helping everyone. Sarah needed a start. Sarah snapped. You act like we're criminals. I met her gaze. Not criminals, misled. But enabling fraud? That's on us. Elena had advised, pursue civil only. Refer criminal if needed. Humane angle. Give them an out. We talked hours, real talk.
No deflections.
Dad confessed his flips were underwater. Jack's cash seemed heaven-sent. Mom admitted fearing I'd outgrown them, clinging to Jack as a link. Sarah? Jealousy mixed with loneliness. Her fling with him started as rebound sympathy. I felt invisible next to your success, she whispered. It hurt, but humanized them.
Me?
I own my part, buried in work. Distant post-divorce. Lesson emerging. Communication over assumptions. We struck a deal. Full disclosure to Elena. Family cooperates in clawback. No criminal referral if they testified against Jack. Dad sold assets to repay. Sarah shuttered her blog. Took a real job at a local ad firm. Mom started therapy group sessions for us all. It wasn't instant kumbaya, but bridges mended. Plank by plank. Jack fought dirty at first, countersuits claiming defamation. But in mediation, cracks showed. I panicked, he admitted. No audience to charm. Startup teetered. I hid to protect us. Us, laughable. Elena dismantled it. Intent proven, settlement voided. He forfeited shares. Paid $2.50 mill restitution plus fees. Half to me, half to family reparations. Criminal charges?
Da oferit plea. Probation.
Community service at a fraud prevention nonprofit. Humane? Gave him a shot at reform. Months on. Family dinners resumed, smaller.
Honest.
No toast to ghosts. We grilled trout. Shared wins and flops. Sarah dated a teacher. Steady. Dad consulted ethically now. Mom hugged tighter.
Me?
Promotion at work. Dating a hiker who valued truth. The West teaches resilience. Storms pass. Views clear. Lesson light but profound. Betrayal wounds. But forgiveness. Earned. Heals deeper. We weren't perfect, but we were real. Word count, 512. Wait. This part is shorter?
Wait.
Adjusting for total. Actually, combining logic. But to hit 1,000, expand. Wait. Expanding, post-mediation. I reflected on drives through the foothills. Wind whipping like catharsis. Jack's plea hearing was subdued. Judge lectured on trust's fragility in marriages and business. He looked smaller, remorse flickering. I lost sight of right, he said in allocution. Outside, he approached.
So
Emily. Truly. I nodded. Prove it by changing.
no embrace.
But closure. Family therapy unearthed old scars, Dad's affairs. Mom's enabling. My perfectionism. Sarah's rebellion. We laughed. Cried. Rebuilt. A weekend retreat in Estes Park sealed it. Hiking. Sharing stories around a campfire.
We chose wrong, Dad said.
But you're our rock. Tears flowed. Bonds strengthened. At work, I mentored juniors on ethical clauses, drawing from my saga. Personal life bloomed. A date with Alex, the hiker, turned into weekends exploring trails.
No ruse.
Just honest connection. The old house sold. Proceeds split fair. We downsized to a cozy cabin-style place. Symbolic fresh start. Holidays felt warmer.
No facades.
Sarah's new job thrived. She credited our talks for focus. Jack served his probation. Started a consultancy on ethical tech, ironic redemption. We nodded at a mutual event once. No hate, just lessons. In the end, the fraud that could have destroyed us forged something stronger. Out west, you learn, face the storm, emerge wiser. Family isn't blind loyalty, it's choosing growth together. Healing wasn't linear, like switchbacks on a mountain trail, full of ups and unexpected drops. Post-settlement, I claimed my share, enough for a down payment on a condo in downtown Denver. City lights replacing suburban quiet. It symbolized independence, no more shared ghosts. Work hummed, partners praised my renewed edge, unaware it stemmed from personal battles won. Family dynamics shifted gradually. First awkward dinner, takeout tacos. No alcohol to blur edges. Dad opened. I ignored red flags with Jack. Greed blinded me. Mom nodded. I pushed appearances. Hurt you worst. Sarah confessed. Sleeping with him? Stupid revenge on feeling second best. I shared too. I shut you out, assuming you'd never get it. Vulnerability bridged gaps. Therapist guided. We set boundaries, no secrets. Mutual respect. Jack's arc surprised. During probation, he volunteered at a Denver shelter, teaching financial literacy. An email came. No excuses, but I'm trying to make amends. Donated to women's legal aid in your name. Skeptical, but Elena verified. Humane twist. He faced consequences.
Chose growth.
A plot change emerged when Sarah uncovered Mia's role, not just affair, but accomplice in hiding assets.
Mia flipped.
Testifying for immunity, exposing Jack's full scheme. It cleared lingering doubts, family united in closure. Summer brought a family road trip, RV through Yellowstone. Western icons reminding us of vast possibilities. Campfire talks deepened. Dad shared his youth struggles. Mom her fears of aging irrelevant. Sarah announced therapy solo. I beamed proud. Back home, I hosted grilled salmon. Stories flowing. No drama, just connection. Alex joined one night. Family vetted gently. Approved. He gets you, Sarah whispered. Legal clarity paid off. Case set precedent in Colorado courts on crypto and divorces. I guest lectured at D-Law. Empowering others. The light lesson crystallized. Betrayal tests. But empathy rebuilds. We weren't victims or villains, just humans navigating rough terrain. Forgiveness? Not forgetting, but freeing space for better. Out here, sunsets promise new dawns. Our family embraced that. The Yellowstone trip was pivotal. Bears sighted, geysers erupting, metaphors for buried tensions releasing. Dad fished, sharing tales of his dad's failures. Cycle-breaking vow. Mom sketched landscapes, opening about her art dreams sidelined. Sarah and I hiked alone. Sorry for everything. Me too, for not seeing your pain. Hugs sealed pacts. Jack's consultancy thrived ethically, ironic nod at a conference.
No friendship.
But respect for reform. My condo became hub. Game nights. Honest laughs. Alex proposed subtly over a hike. Families celebrated sans excess. In court epilogues, judge commended our resolution. Mediation over warfare. DA dropped family probes. Cooperation key. Ultimately, the fraud shadow faded, replaced by sunlight bonds. Lesson. In the West's wide open, room for redemption abounds. Choose it. Years blurred, but the core held. At 40, I partnered at the firm, specializing in family asset protection. Irony not lost. Family? Thriving. Dad's ethical consulting boomed. Mom exhibited art locally. Sarah married her teacher. Started a family, niece Emily Jr.
A joy.
We gathered often. Toasts to real deals. Jack, remarried. Father now, path straight. Brief encounter at a fundraiser. Thanks for the push. I smiled. We all needed it. The humane end. No villains vanquished. Just growth. Betrayals sting taught. Communicate early. Forgive wisely. Value blood's true worth. In Western vastness, we found our way home, not perfect, but ours. Light lesson lingered. Family dramas like a dust storm, blinding. But it passes, revealing clearer horizons. Choose to see them. Reflecting on it all from my balcony, a city below pulsing. I marveled at the journey. From that barbecue betrayal to courtroom truths. Each step forged resilience. Family vacations became tradition, skiing Vail, echoing old photos, but with new meaning. Sarah's wedding, intimate ranch venue, vows honest. Learned from the best, my sis, she toasted. Tears.
Laughs, redemption pure.
Dad's 70th, surprise party. Stories of our saga retold as cautionary tale. Ending in hugs. Mom's gallery show. Her piece, Fractured Peaks, symbolized our men's. Alex and I wed simply, mountain ceremony. Family central. Honeymoon, Yellowstone revisit. Professionally, my book on ethical divorces hit shelves, proceeds to aid funds. Jack sent a congrats card. Proud of your impact. Closure complete. In the end, the shocking fraud that shattered led to unexpected bonds stronger than before. Out west, we ride through, wiser for the trail. Lesson, betrayal reveals. Forgiveness rebuilds, choose both for the win.